everybody. This is Brother Agyei. I'd like to welcome you to this brief autobiography that I put together for all of the internet viewers out there. To begin, I guess I should tell you where I come from. I'm a proud resident, born and raised in Harlem, New York, in the Sugar Hill section of Harlem, a place with much history. And whether you, love Harlem, hate it, you think it's full of violence, or whatever you think, Harlem has tremendous history and has contributed so much to African American and to American culture in general. I guess my biggest hero growing up and to this day was and is Brother Malcolm X. My father was a great fan of his and follower, and I guess it was only natural that I grew up kind of respecting him. Read a lot of his books in an early age, and I was really moved by the fact that he went from being a brother that was a criminal to a brother that renounced his criminal past and used his life, the canvas of his life, to paint a picture that black people and other people around the world could identify with. That if I can get out of the quagmire induced by racism and self-hatred, you can too. I guess also I was largely inspired by the civil rights and black power movements, their calls for black people to fight, to protect and enforce their rights, to validate their humanity, and to challenge racist authorities, and also the black power struggles for cultural identity, for self-definition and self-determination and self-sufficiency. I eventually attended Syracuse University, upstate New York. Did my 4 years there as an undergrad, where I majored in sociology, and eventually became the president of the Student African American Society, which was the group that represented undergraduate blacks at the university. And I guess you could say I became quite controversial, as you see in the pictures here. Led a lot of protests and demonstrations. It was called radical and outspoken and militant, but I think at the core, myself and the brothers and sisters that I worked with and struggled with at Syracuse, we were simply trying to make sure that we had access to all the facilities and opportunities that our tuition paid for, and to fight racist authorities and racist mentalities and practices at the campus. And for the most part, we were largely successful. And my heart always goes out to the fellow students and classmates and professors and community members that I worked with and had the pleasure of meeting while an undergrad at Syracuse University. After Syracuse, I moved on to the Ivy League, Cornell University, where I entered the master's degree program at the Africana Studies and Research Center. And while there, I developed a really close relationship with the students and faculty, most especially the esteemed and honorable Dr. James Turner, who was actually the founding director of the Africana Studies and Research Center in 1969 at Cornell, and is considered, amongst many things, one of the black community's outstanding scholars when it comes to political movement, political thought and theory, and he's considered amongst many to be a Malcolm expert, to the point where Brother Spike Lee had him consult for the movie Malcolm X, and also he was used as a consultant on the famous Eyes on the Prize series. I owe so much of my political development and maturity to Dr. Turner. After I left Cornell, I became a teacher and helped start a school called Kappa Middle School. Kappa is an acronym. It's not related to the black fraternity at all. It's really an acronym that stands for Knowledge and Power Preparatory Academy. Started, it's basically a middle school, goes from 5th to 8th grade, and to this day, the middle school, which is located in a rough part of the Bronx, Morrisania part of the Bronx, New York, in a school district that traditionally is low performing, but yet this school continues to outperform many schools, and when pitted against other schools in New York City, Kappa performs quite well. At last study, Kappa outperforms 90% of all middle schools in New York City, and that's in 2008, and that's a tremendous achievement for all of the teachers, staff, and students there at Kappa Academy. Something I'm very proud about is that I had the pleasure of working with a brother named Agyei Tyehimba, who was a legendary former street hustler that grew up right in Harlem in the Sugar Hill area, maybe 3 blocks away from where I grew up. Agyei's famous or infamous for being a big-time drug dealer around the time I was in high school. And he, along with a guy named Rich Porter and Alpo Martinez, made tremendous sums of money, before they were even old enough to vote. I'm talking about millions of dollars this guy ran through. Had the European luxury cars, women, the jewelry, the clothes, nice homes and properties, but went through tremendous tragedy. And Agyei, after almost getting killed himself in 1987, kind of turned his life around and renounced his former lifestyle and really felt that God had spared his life so that he could be used as a messenger to help to get young people away from the path of drug dealing and street crime. So in the year 2007, Agyei and I co-wrote his autobiography entitled Game Over, The Rise and Transformation of a Harlem Hustler. It was published by the publishing giant Simon & Schuster, and is doing quite well. It's made the Essence bestseller list, and I understand it's available in bookstores all over the country, online, and I understand that it's available in more than 85 public library systems in over 30 cities, from all the way from Florida all the way to California, in the state of Washington, Alabama. It's just amazing how far the book has gone. I really encourage you all to purchase that book. I encourage you also to visit my website, www.freewebs.com/AGYEI143. And if possible, to click on the my talk show link where you can hear the different internet radio talk shows I've done. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Peace and God bless.